The Lamborghini Slay Queens. In Lagos, wealth wasn't just about money, it was about showing it off. Aisha, Kemi and Ugomma had mastered this art. They weren't just slay queens, they were the blueprints. Everything about them was fake except their hunger for luxury. Their social media pages sparkled with pictures of designers' bags, first-class flights, and exotic vacations. But behind the filters and soft life captions was a secret. They didn't earn their riches. Politicians, celebrities, and Yahoo big boys funded their extravagant lifestyles in exchange for their beauty and presence. Aisha, the leader, had once been a devoted wife until she realized that love couldn't buy a penthouse. She walked out of her marriage, got a full body transformation in Turkey, and rebranded herself as a self-made lady. Kemi, the sharpest, ran a fake skincare brand and claimed to be a real estate investor. In truth, her bank account was fueled by multiple sugar daddies, each believing they were the only one. Ugomma, the most calculating, didn't just rely on men, she had juju. Hidden beneath her designer's gowns were charms and potions, ensuring her lovers remained obsessed with her. She knew beauty wasn't enough. Sometimes a little extra spiritual assurance was needed. One evening, the trio gathered at Aisha's penthouse, sipping champagne. The conversation turned to the latest trend shaking Lagos. The Lamborghini trend. Every big babe wanted one. Only the real queens could afford it. Amara just got herself a red Lamborghini. Kemi sneered, scrolling through Instagram. She thinks she's better than us now. Aisha's eyes darkened. We can't let these small girls outshine us. By December, all three of us must be driving Lamborghinis. Ugomma smirked. Then it's a competition. And just like that, the race began. Each of them was determined to be the first to own the most luxurious Lamborghini in town. They doubled their efforts, securing richer sponsors, upgrading their body enhancements, and making more daring moves. Aisha targeted a senator known for spoiling women, but also for dropping them without warning. Kemi locked down a Dubai billionaire, while Ugomma deepened her ties with her powerful herbalist, seeking stronger charms to keep her biggest spender obsessed. As weeks passed, tension grew. Kemi secretly told her billionaire lover that Aisha was calling him a stingy old man to make him cut her off. Ugomma whispered to the senator that Kemi had another man in Abuja. Each of them was sabotaging the other, but they didn't realize how deadly their game had become. Then one morning, the bomb dropped. A popular Instagram page, Lagos Runs Girls Exposed, leaked private messages of top slay queens. But the real shock was a post about an anonymous big babe who had betrayed her best friend just to secure the first Lamborghini. The post claimed she had sold their secrets to a politician's wife, ruining their biggest sources of income, all for a down payment on her dream car. Lagos socialites were in chaos, guessing who the traitor was. Aisha, Kemi, and Ugomma sat in silence, each wondering if the other had stabbed them in the back. Then, like clockwork, Kemi's phone had a notification. She gasped. Aisha leaned in. What is it? A video leaked online. It showed a black Lamborghini being delivered to a mystery woman in Ikoyi. The caption read, "Guess which Lagos big babe won the race?" Rage filled the room. One of them had done it. One of them had crossed the line. But who? Aisha grabbed her glass and smashed it against the floor. "We are being played," she hissed. Ugomma's finger curled into fists. "No, one of us is the player." The Lamborghini dream had turned into a nightmare. Betrayal was now in the air, thick as perfume. And when the slay queens fight, the fall is never small. Hi viewers, please support us by clicking on the subscription button now as we continue. The silence in Aisha's penthouse was thick with suspicion. They had always competed, but this was different. Someone had gone too far. Someone had sold out the others just to win. Kemi scrolled furiously through Instagram, reading comments under the leaked video. They were saying the mystery woman is one of us, she muttered. Ugomma's eyes flashed. That means one of us already bought the car. Aisha's heart pounded. If this was true, it meant one of them had secured a Lamborghini while setting the others up for disgrace. "Who is it?" she asked, her voice sharp. No one answered. Aisha reached for her phone. "Let's settle this now." She called her trusted car dealer. A Lamborghini was delivered in Ikoyi. Find out whose name is on the documents. Minutes felt like hours. Finally, the dealer called back. His voice was hesitant. "Madam, I don't know how to tell you this, but the car is registered under Ugomma's name." Aisha and Kemi turned to Ugomma. Her expression didn't change. She simply sipped her champagne and smiled. "Well," she said, setting her glass down, "looks like I won the race." Aisha shot up from her seat. "You betrayed us." Kemi's voice shook with anger. "You gave out our secrets, didn't you? That's why our biggest clients are avoiding us." Ugomma shrugged. "Business is business. You both were too slow. I did what I had to do." Aisha longed at her, but Kemi held her back. "No need for drama," Kemi hissed. "We will handle this the right way." Ugomma smirked. "And what way is that?" Kemi's voice was low and cold. "Wait and see," she said. That night, Aisha and Kemi met at a hidden location. Betrayal wasn't forgiven in their world. "We have to take her down," Aisha said. "She played us like fools." Kemi nodded. "But she has juju. We need something stronger." The next day, they traveled deep into Ogun State, where they met a powerful Babalawo. "We need a solution," Aisha said. "Ugomma must face the consequences." The Babalawo studied them. "There is a price for revenge. Are you willing to pay it?" Aisha didn't hesitate. "Anything." He handed them a black powder. "Mix this in a drink. Within 7 days, everything she used to attract men will begin to fade. Her beauty, her charm, even her wealth, it will all disappear." That evening, they invited Ugomma for a peace talk at a 5-star restaurant. They laughed, toasted, and pretended all was forgiven. As Ugomma sipped her wine, Kemi exchanged a glance with Aisha. The powder was already working. But what they didn't know was that Ugomma had already sensed the danger. She had been visiting her own Babalawo too. The real war had just begun. The first sign came on the 3rd day. Ugomma was live on Instagram flaunting her new Lamborghini when she suddenly clutched her chest. A sharp, unexplainable pain shot through her body. She gasped, her flawless face twisting in agony. Thousands of followers watched in confusion as she abruptly ended the live session. In her bedroom mirror that night, she noticed something worse. Her once perfect skin was breaking out in strange rashes. Her lips, which had been plump and irresistible, were chapped. Even her famous hips, sculpted to perfection, suddenly felt smaller. Panic gripped her. She rushed to her babalawo the next morning. "Something is wrong, Baba," she cried. "My beauty is fading." The old man examined her carefully, then sighed. "Your enemies have struck. They have used a powerful charm to reverse everything you gained through juju. If you don't act fast, you will return to the woman you once were. Ordinary, forgotten, unwanted." Ugomma's stomach twisted in fear. She knew who had done this. Aisha and Kemi. "Baba, what can I do?" The babalawo gave her a small calabash filled with dark liquid. "Bathe with this at midnight for 7 days, and you will not only recover, you will rise higher than your enemies. But be warned, if your spirit is weak, the consequences will be fatal." Meanwhile, Aisha and Kemi were celebrating in silence. They watched as Ugomma stopped posting her usual flashy pictures. The once vibrant slay queen was now barely active online. "It's working," Aisha whispered. Kemi smiled. By next month, no man will look at her twice. But something unexpected happened. On the 7th day, Ugomma reappeared, stronger, bolder, and more beautiful than ever. She hosted an exclusive party at a luxury rooftop club inviting only the richest men and biggest socialites in Lagos. When Aisha and Kemi arrived, they were shocked. Ugomma stood in the center of the room, her skin glowing. Unnaturally, her curves even more exaggerated than before. She was wearing a diamond-studded dress, and her new Lamborghini, now painted a dazzling gold, was parked outside for everyone to see. She smiled directly at them. "Did you miss me?" Kemi grabbed Aisha's arm. "What is this? She was supposed to be finished." Aisha's heart pounded. She must have reversed the charm. "We need another plan." But Ugomma wasn't done playing. Over the next few weeks, she took things further. She started spreading rumor about Aisha and Kemi, turning their top sponsors against them. She hinted to a certain senator's wife that Kemi was having an affair with her husband. She made sure Aisha's biggest Yahoo boy lost interest in her by sending him anonymous messages about her secret dealings with his rival. One by one, their connections dried up. The money stopped flowing. The luxury trips became fewer. And worst of all, the new Lamborghini they had been working so hard for now felt like an impossible dream. Aisha was the first to crack. "We have to stop Ugomma before she destroys us completely." Kemi nodded. "But how?" Aisha leaned closer. "We take away what she loves the most." That night, they paid a hacker a large sum to dig into Ugomma's life. Every dirty secret she had, the politicians, the fake businesses, the spiritual consultations, was documented. By morning, an anonymous Instagram page had posted it all. The scandal exploded. Fake slay queen exposed. Ugomma uses juju to trap men. Luxury lifestyle built on lies. Lagos social media was on fire. Brands she has falsely claimed as sponsors distanced themselves. The men who once worshipped her stopped calling. Even the babalawo, afraid of being dragged into the mess, cut ties with her. Ugomma's empire crumbled overnight. Her new Lamborghini was repossessed. The house she had been renting under a politician's name was locked. She went from a trending topic to a cautionary tale. Aisha and Kemi watched with satisfaction as she vanished from social media. The Lamborghini race had ended, or so they thought. 3 weeks later, Aisha's driver rushed into her house, panting. Madam, come outside. Aisha stepped out and froze. A sleek, fiery red Lamborghini was parked right in front of her gate, and standing beside it, dressed in all black, was Ugomma. She was back, and this time, she wasn't alone. Aisha's heart pounded as she saw the people behind her. They weren't politicians, they weren't Yahoo boys. They were men in dark robes, their faces hidden. Kemi, watching from the balcony, gasped, "Oh my God, what has she done?" Ugomma smiled. "Did you think you won?" Aisha's hand trembled as she clutched her robe, staring at the mysterious men behind Ugomma. They weren't the usual Lagos big boys or political sponsors. Their presence carried an eerie, unsettling aura, as if they belonged to a world beyond the glitz and glam. Kemi whispered from the balcony, her voice shaky. "Who are these people?" Ugomma's lip curled into a slow knowing smile. "Let's just say they are my new business partners." Aisha swallowed hard. She had played many dangerous games, but this was different. This wasn't just about revenge anymore. It felt darker. "What do you want, Ugomma?" she forced out. Ugomma tilted her head. "You thought you could destroy me? You thought you could take away everything I built and walk away untouched?" She laughed softly, then stepped forward. "It's time to settle scores." Kemi's nerves cracked. "If you want to fight, fight fair. You were the one that betrayed us first." Ugomma's eyes flashed. "And yet, here I am, standing, while you two, we are barely surviving." The men behind her stepped closer, their presence almost suffocating. Aisha's throat dried up. "Yuji, what did you do?" Ugomma exhaled. "Let me tell you a secret." Her voice was almost a whisper. The Lamborghini was never the goal. It was just a test, a way to see who would betray whom first. And you both failed. Aisha's body stiffened. "What?" Ugomma took another step forward. "You see, when I visited my Babalawo to restore my beauty, he told me something. He said that one of my friends had a wicked heart and would stop at nothing to ruin me." Her smile darkened. "So I set the trap." Kemi's voice cracked. "The leaked Instagram posts, the scandals, you planted everything?" Ugomma nodded. "And you both fell right into it. Now I know, if I had been the one to fall first, you wouldn't have saved me. You would have danced on my grave." Aisha clenched her fist. "So what now? You're going to kill us?" Ugomma chuckled. "Kill you? No. That would be too easy." She glanced at the men in dark robes. "But they have something in mind." One of them finally spoke, his voice deep and ancient. "A life for a life. A sacrifice must be made." Kemi's knees weakened. "Sacrifice? What do you mean?" Ugomma's gaze was emotionless. "You destroyed my life, my connections, my reputations. Now, you will pay. One of you must give up everything. Your beauty, your wealth, your entire existence. Or," she gestured towards the men, "they will take something much worse." Aisha felt the weight of the world settled in her bones. This wasn't just about money anymore. This was spiritual warfare. Kemi grabbed Aisha's hand. We have to leave now. They turned to run, but the moment they did, the air shifted. The road behind them stretched endlessly. No cars, no people, no escape. Ugomma's voice echoed. It's already too late. Aisha turned back, her voice breaking. Ugomma, we were friends. We built this life together. Ugomma's expression softened for the first time. And look where it brought us. She exhaled deeply. Okay, fine. Since I once called you sisters, I will give you a choice. She raised two objects, a small black mirror and a golden ring. The mirror will strip you of everything, your beauty, your wealth, your social status. You will live as a commoner, forgotten, invincible. She held up the ring. The ring will protect you, but the price is a soul. If you choose the ring, you must offer another woman's life in exchange. Someone younger, more promising. Someone like the young girls who follow your lifestyle online. Aisha and Kemi stared, frozen. Ugomma sighed. You have 1 hour to decide. After that, she glanced at the robed men. They will decide for you. Aisha's breath itched. She looked at Kemi, desperation in her eyes. They had spent their whole lives chasing luxury. But now, at the peak of their success, they had to make an impossible choice. Was it all worth it? The Lamborghini dream had been beautiful, but in the end, it wasn't the car that destroyed them. It was greed. Aisha and Kemi stood frozen, staring at the two objects in Ugomma's hands. The black mirror, the golden ring. Both choices led to ruin, but in different ways. Kemi's lips quivered. This is madness. Aisha's fingers clenched into fists. We don't have to do this, Ugomma. You were our friend once. Ugomma's eyes were cold. And what did the friendship get me? Betrayal. Now choose immediately before I change my mind. Kemi swallowed hard and reached for the ring. I'm not going back to poverty. If I have to sacrifice someone, then so be it. Aisha slapped her hand away. Are you insane? You want to ruin another girl's life just to keep living a fake life? Kemi frowned. Aisha, we've worked too hard for this life. Do you want to end up as nobody? Aisha turned to Ugomma. What happens if I pick the mirror? Ugomma studied her for a moment before replying. You will lose everything, your beauty, your wealth, your influence. Just like I said earlier, you will become invisible to the world you once ruled. Kemi scoffed. And you think I'll let that happen? Aisha exhaled deeply. I choose the mirror. Kemi's eyes widened. Aisha, no! But Aisha took the mirror from Ugomma's hand. The moment her fingers touched the cold surface, an unseen force surged through her. A sharp pain shot through her body, as if something was being ripped away. She fell to her knees, gasping. The transformation was immediate. Her once perfect skin dulled. Her surgical enhanced curves shrank. Her face, once admired by thousands, became ordinary, forgettable. Kemi stumbled backwards in horror. No, this isn't real. Aisha looked at her reflection in a nearby car window. She barely recognized herself, but for the first time in years, she felt free. Ugomma watched in silence. You have chosen wisely, Aisha. She turned to Kemi. And you? Kemi hesitated. Then with a desperate cry, she grabbed the ring. A gust of wind hurled through the night. A A dark shadow passed over her face, and then she laughed. A cruel, twisted laugh. Aisha's stomach turned. Kemi. Kemi turned to face her. Her eyes, once warm brown, had turned pitch black. I made the right choice, she whispered. Ugomma shook her head. No, you didn't. A sudden scream echoed through the streets. Aisha and Ugomma turned just in time to see Kemi collapse, her body convulsing violently. She clawed at her chest, gasping for air. Then, just as suddenly as it started, she went still. The robed men stepped forward and lifted her lifeless body. Without a word, they carried her into the darkness. Aisha's breath itched. Where are they taking her? Ugomma's voice was flat. The debt has been collected. Silence fell between them. For the first time, Aisha saw Ugomma differently. The power, the revenge, the ruthlessness, it had all come at a cost. Ugomma met her gaze. I lost myself trying to win, but in the end, I only became what I once feared. Aisha wiped her tears. What now? Ugomma exhaled. I'm leaving this life behind. She tossed the golden keys of her Lamborghini onto the pavement. It's all meaningless, a circle of greed, lies and pain. Aisha looked at the keys, then at Ugomma. So, what do we do now? Ugomma smiled sadly. We start over. She turned and walked away, disappearing into the night. Aisha stood there for a long time before finally stepping away from the life she once craved. Weeks later, news spread like wildfire. Kemi had been found in a remote village, wandering aimlessly, speaking in riddles. Some said she had gone mad. Others claimed she had paid the ultimate price for her greed. As for Ugomma, she vanished from the social media scene. Some whispered that she had found peace in a quiet town. Others believed she had joined a spiritual order. And Aisha, she went back to her roots. She started a small business, not the fake type she used to flaunt, but a real one. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. The first time she posted a picture of herself online after the fall, there were no luxury bags, no designer's clothes, just a simple selfie, captioned, "True beauty is peace of mind." The comments flooded in. Some mocked her, some pitied her, but some understood. A young girl messaged her privately. I used to dream of living like you. Now I see that I almost chased a lie. Thank you for showing me the truth. Aisha smiled. Maybe losing everything was the only way to finally be free. One night, she sat outside staring at the stars, reflecting on everything. She had spent years competing, chasing luxury lifestyle, trying to be the queen of Lagos. But now, she realized the truth. They were never queens. They were pawns in a game that would always demand more than they could give. Aisha picked up a book, something she hadn't done in years. She whispered to herself, no more shortcuts, no more lies, just the real me. For the first time, she felt peace. And the Lamborghini, it was just a car. Moral lesson. Luxury means nothing when your soul is in debt. The chase for wealth and beauty, if built on deceit, will always lead to destruction. In the end, peace of mind is the greatest treasure.